just give a few words, and if you want to share some things about Dad, if Mom, you want to share anything, we're going to give a little bit of time here, and then once we kind of wrap up, Alan's going to play a song, It Is Well With My Soul, which is kind of Dad's favorite hymn. He's going to play it on Dad's trumpet, which is pretty cool. So, really excited about that. I think this is harder for me than when we had the actual service. Thank you. I told Lori I was kind of fortunate because we got Dad's ashes back. Everybody's like, what are we going to do with them? And I'm like, well, I'll take them. So Dad's been at our house, and so it wasn't like they were like quite gone yet. So, but it's a good thing. It's that next step. And I told Lori it's like nothing's changed. You know, he wasn't here yesterday, and he won't be here tomorrow. He's in heaven with Bill and Lowell and his mom and dad and everybody else, and he's just having a good time. So, but yet it's still hard to have that loss. So, we put a plaque on there, and the plaque says, forever loved and forever missed. And certainly we'll miss him. The good news is, we'll see him again. That's the joy. Lori and I are fortunate enough right now to be in a Bible study at our church. And one thing is very timely. Last week, they talked about family and how when your ancestors do good and follow the Lord, or if they don't, that ripples through your family and affects generations of people. And we've probably all seen that, you know, where we've seen families who struggle and they seem like they just can't get out of that cycle. And as we were talking in our small group at church, it's just so thankful for Mom and for Dad and for Grandma and for Grandpa and for great-grandma and for great-grandpa that all seeded the good of being a follower of Jesus Christ. And if nothing else, they taught us all that, and they taught that through our whole family. And so, just in his dad's legacy, would encourage everyone to, you know, stay in church, stay close to Jesus Christ, and as things get rough, we know we can lean on Him for that. So that's more than I wanted to say. So if anybody else would like to share, I don't know, Mom, if you wanted to say anything or you want to just listen.
Well, of course I missed him. He was a wonderful husband. And when I usually went to bed before he did, and I always gave him a kiss. Went over and gave him a kiss before I went to bed. And I miss that kiss. I miss that kiss. And he was a wonderful husband to me. I couldn't ask for any better. And at night it just seems like I need to go over and get that kiss.
We can bring you a teddy bear and you can kiss it.
If anyone else would like to say words, if you can come up here, because Mom can't hear you. You're back there. So anybody else want to come up and say anything?
Jack Higgins. My mom was Francis's sister. Francis and Everett were my aunt and uncle. But all the dear memories I have at your house. Every time we go out there, no matter what it was, Christmas time, Thanksgiving dinners, swimming, going out and working on the farm and trying to learn a little bit about what you do as farmers and all of this. It was just the best memories of my life. I just thank you for that.
Thank you. Douce, Lowell's daughter, Uncle Everett. I remember as a young man, before you even met you, I was dating you. I can remember when I was a very little kid. Everett at Ohio State, and as I retired, I did a little work with the Marion campus. And every time I'd introduce myself as Louise Douce, someone would come and say, "Are you related to Everett?" Let me tell you, he did. I mean, he touched so many lives with his loving generosity. A good and generous man, and I'm so lucky that he was one. And I am the other half of that one. There's three of those little houses. I'm Pat. Everett was my favorite uncle, always. Our birthdays are about the same time. I like to start with Everett was a man that was outstanding in his field. He was outstanding cutting those gladiolas and all the others. He was outstanding in his storytelling, and his compassion, and his love for everyone. And he was always, until you walked in their shoes, he was just such a loving, wonderful man. I was not able to come to the original service. I teach at a college, and of course it was at Easter. I spoke about my uncle, your husband, your dad. And my students sent me flowers. That was about his family.
Before Pat gets too far, we got to tell a quick story on Pat.
I need a story.
She might not remember this, but it made a huge impression on me. I was about 8 years old. So how much older are you than me? Would that put you at 18?
I'm 73. I am 73.
Okay, so that'd put her around 18-ish. And we had a, what's the stuff you put in the Christmas time to get a kiss? Mistletoe in the doorway.
You didn't get many kisses.
And Dad never gave a whole lot of kisses. And I remember Pat standing underneath there and said something like, "Looky here, Uncle Everett." And he came up and he laid the biggest kiss on her, and her face turned so red. And I was like, "That's my dad." So
Your dad used to carry me around on his shoulders. I remember that.
yeah, but I never forgot that, and I was hoping you were going to be here today. So anybody else?
Well, I know none of us are perfect, but Everett was about the most perfect person I know. And he always had kind words for everybody. And he treated Kathy just like his daughter.
I think you all know this is Kathy's mom, Billy.
I gave her $5 to say that.
I haven't seen it yet.
Later.
Note to self. $5. Anybody else? No?
Share a little story.
I'm Jenna. I'm Alan's daughter. And probably about a month ago, I have two little kids. They loved great grandpa and great grandma. And my son Kanan really took to great grandpa's the only grandson on this song. But we were listening to worship music in the car, and the song was talking about heaven. And you never know what kids are going to say. And Kanan says, "Mom, how old are you in heaven?" It's a really good question, buddy. I don't know. I never thought about what age you are in heaven. I said, I know that when we get to heaven, we have no more sickness. We have no more pain. I said, but I don't know what age you are. And he's like, what age do you think great grandpa is? So then we got talking about grandpa, and I said, I don't know what age he is, but I said, I know he's up there watching a sheep show somewhere with his overalls on and his hat. He's watching people work. He's not doing too much work, but he's working somewhere or talking to somebody. And it just was a really great conversation with my kids about what heaven's going to be like. And we went down many rabbit trails, as you can imagine, with kids about what animals and whatever there might be. But it was a great opportunity to talk to my kids about the best part about it is that I know that, again, I'll see Grandpa in heaven and Grandma, and that we'll all be there, and that we serve a God who, this isn't the end for us. And just trying to talk to my kids about that, and I'm so thankful for my parents and my grandparents who shared that with me, and that I can share that with my kids. I can't wait to see Grandpa again up there. And you know he's having a great time watching us and keeping an eye on us. And he loved us so much, and I'm so thankful.